How do traits pass from parents to offspring? This video explores the principles of Mendelian inheritance and chromosomal genes. Discover how genetic information shapes our characteristics. Inheritance is the process of passing genetic information from parents to offspring. This information resides in genes, segments of DNA on chromosomes. Each cell nucleus houses these chromosomes. The inherited gene combination from both parents shapes individual traits. Characteristics like eye color and height are determined this way. Humans possess 46 chromosomes, arranged in 23 pairs. This includes 22 autosome pairs and 1 sex chromosome pair. Each parent contributes 1 chromosome per pair. Thus, offspring inherit half their genetic material from each parent. Chromosomes contain thousands of genes, determining traits and functions. A gene is a DNA sequence carrying protein production instructions. These proteins dictate traits and bodily functions. For instance, genes influence blood type and enzyme production. Different gene versions, or alleles, can lead to varying trait expressions. Eye color variations exemplify this concept. Dominant alleles are always expressed in the phenotype if present. Recessive alleles only manifest when both gene copies are recessive. Brown eye alleles are dominant, while blue eye alleles are recessive. Mendel's laws explain this inheritance pattern. These laws describe trait transmission across generations. Females have 2 X chromosomes, while males have 1 X and 1 Y. The father's sperm determines the child's sex. An X chromosome results in a female, a Y in a male. Some traits are linked to sex chromosomes. Examples include colorblindness and hemophilia. Sex-linked traits are linked to X or Y chromosomes. Recessive genes on the X chromosome cause conditions like colorblindness. Males are more likely to express these traits. Females require 2 copies of the defective gene. This explains the prevalence of certain conditions in males. Chromosomal genes contribute to genetic variation. During meiosis, chromosomes shuffle and exchange. This crossing over creates new allele combinations. It increases population diversity. Genetic variation explains why offspring differ from parents and siblings. Mutations are changes in the DNA sequence. They can have no effect, be beneficial, or cause disorders. Examples include Down syndrome and cystic fibrosis. Mutations are a natural variation source. However, they can have serious health implications. Dominance and recessiveness affect trait expression. Dominant alleles mask recessive ones. This influences observable traits. The combination of alleles determines the phenotype. Understanding this helps explain genetic inheritance. Sex linkage refers to genes on sex chromosomes. These genes affect trait expression. Males with 1 X chromosome express recessive traits more. Females need 2 copies for the same expression. This concept clarifies sex-linked genetic conditions. Genetic disorders arise from DNA mutations. Some mutations cause conditions like sickle cell anemia. These disorders vary in severity. Understanding genetic inheritance helps manage these conditions. Awareness aids in diagnosis and treatment. Mendelian inheritance describes trait transmission. It is based on dominant and recessive alleles. This system explains genetic trait patterns. Mendel's laws provide a framework for understanding inheritance. They are fundamental to genetics. Chromosomal genes carry genetic information. They are segments of DNA on chromosomes. Each gene influences specific traits. The combination of genes determines individual characteristics. This process is essential for inheritance. Alleles are different versions of a gene. They influence trait expression. Dominant alleles mask recessive ones. This affects observable characteristics. Understanding alleles is crucial for genetics. Inheritance patterns describe trait transmission. Mendel's laws outline these patterns. They involve dominant and recessive alleles. Understanding these patterns aids in predicting traits. This knowledge is vital for genetics. Traits linked to sex chromosomes are unique. They affect males and females differently. Males express recessive X-linked traits more. Females need 2 copies for expression. This distinction is key in genetics. Genetic diversity arises from variation. Meiosis and mutations contribute to this. Diversity ensures adaptability and survival. It explains differences among individuals. Understanding diversity is essential for genetics. Mutations can impact health. Some lead to genetic disorders. Others have no effect or are beneficial. Understanding mutations aids in managing health. Genetic knowledge is crucial for healthcare. Genetic principles guide inheritance understanding. They involve alleles, chromosomes, and mutations. These principles explain trait transmission. They are fundamental to genetics and biology. Knowledge of these principles is essential. In summary, the inheritance of traits through chromosomal genes provides a fundamental framework for understanding how characteristics are transmitted across generations. The concepts of dominance, recessiveness, and sex linkage play a critical role in determining how specific traits are expressed. Furthermore, genetic variation, arising from mutation and recombination, ensures the uniqueness of individuals within a population, highlighting the dynamic nature of heredity. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact UKversity by text at 07000 484 361,688. Thank you for your kind attention.